Welcome from this session. We are having second visit to the organization and knowledge of Surya Upanishad. Surya Upanishad in its seventh paragraph preserves the enlightenment as Surya Mantra. This Surya Mantra is of quadruple phases. First is Om iti ekakshar Brahm. Second is Grineri iti dvayakshare. Third is Surya iti aksharam dvayam. And fourth quarter is Aditya iti trini aksharani. Then it is a command, an enlightenment that this 8 syllables Surya Mantra has been for the education and enlightenment of Manu. Surya Mantra enlightenment is for Manu. This enlightenment, this knowledge, this organization, this value system is being imparted to Manu. Formulation Surya is of TCP value 13, while the formulation Manu is of TC value 21. The value 13 is the TC value of Akshar, syllable, and value 21 is TC value of Ek Akshar, one syllable. This is also parallel with Ek Ansh, the knowledge of 6 space is being organized for its only one Ansh as for Manu. Value 21 accepts organization as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Value 13 accepts organization as 2 multiplied by 6 plus 1, parallel with 13 versions of hypercube 6. Surya as formulation of its TC value 13 is parallel with the spreadsheet of 13 versions of hypercube 6 as representative regular bodies of space. Value 21 as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is parallel with Sthapatya format, synthetic miring rod of hypercube 6. Let us have a pause. Let us sit comfortably. Let us be parallel with these pair of values 13 and 21 and their organizations as 13 versions of hypercube 6 and as miring rod of 6 space domain. It is within 6 space that its 6-dimensional frame will unfold sequentially in terms of first single axis, second pair of axes, thirdly as triple axis, fourthly as quadruple axis, fifthly as penta number of axes, and finally as all six axes. Therefore, this enlightenment of this mantra in its all quadruple phases is ultimately going to be an organization format of a Sthapatya miring rod so that one who is parallel with this organization format, say as Manu, he will be having full glimpse of what is happening, what are the values, what are the features based domain, that is what is happening within the sun. Simultaneously, this as a system will also help the sadhakas to be parallel with what is happening within human body as a purusha, as shad chakras formate, six eternal circuits of human body, or having external features, bahir lakshan, as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. These values range 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 are parallel with the boundary components of hypercube 1 to hypercube 6. Therefore, this format of this mantra, as it is organized, reserved for the sadhakas to be followed, is meant for providing insight, providing enlightenment about what is happening within our own body, what is the life phenomenon lively within human frame, and further how this phenomenon is parallel with the phenomenon of our solar universe in its entirety. And therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with these systems shall proceed in the sequence in which this mantra has been organized. The composition of the text of this mantra is of quadruple components. First component is Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm. The simple rendering of this text, this quarter, Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm, is that Om is the sole syllable expression for the Brahm. Om is the full expression of eternal values of eternity. Therefore, the text as it is also deserves to be followed in the sequence and order in which it stands composed. This composition of this text, Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm, will sequentially take us to its components. Om, second is Iti, third is Ek, fourth is Akshar, and fifth is Brahm. The seventh paragraph of Surya Upanishad is a composition of 5 sentences. These five sentences preserve Surya mantra of four quarters. The first quarter is Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm. The formulation Om Iti Ekakshar Brahm as well is availing as many as five components. These are Om, Iti, Ek, Akshar, and Brahm. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to follow the organization format and values of this mantra have to be sequential, parallel with the composition, and the first phase as such. This mantra will take us through five sub phases, five steps. The first will be the values of formulation Om. Second will be the values of formulation Iti. Third will be the values of formulation Ek. Fourth will be the formulation Akshara. And fifth will be the Brahm. Now, we know that Devanagari alphabet is the alphabet of comparative states, means this alphabet as letters alphabet is only one of the compactified states of this format. The uppermost state is as letters alphabet, but there are other sequential states which stand compactified with the uppermost state. So we have to reach from the letters alphabet state to the numbers alphabet state. To reach from the letters to the numbers would mean to reach at Divya Ank Vyavastha, transcendental code values of the respective letters. Therefore, to have proper insight and full enlightenment about these word formulations, namely Om, Iti, Ek, Akshar, Brahm, and others as well, we have to transcend from their letters alphabet as composition rules to their numbers alphabet mathematics. The numbers alphabet mathematics of these formulations will sequentially take to the transcendental code values, which are the placement values of these letters in the Devanagari alphabet. So, from letters, we have to reach at the numbers, means that the TCV values. And then we have to reach at the respective parallel dimensional frames, means the geometric formats. And these geometric formats will take us to the sthapa, the settlement of values in manifested forms within geometric frames. It is to avail the Sthapatya miring rod format. Sthapatya miring rod format is the synthetic setup of hypercubes 1 to 6, the representative regular bodies of 1 space to 6 space within 4 space. 4 space plays the role of dimension of a 6 space. Therefore, this knowledge, which is being organized for the instructions teaching, knowledge, and enlightenment of a Manu, the same is as value 21 being the TCV value of formulation Manu. The value 21 accepts an organization 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 parallel with the Myring rod being a synthetic setup of hypercubes 1 to 6. So this geometric format hypercubes 1 to 6 and the values range 1 to 6 with summation value 21 goes parallel with the TC value of the formulation Manu. As such, when we will be having transcendence from the letters alphabet to the numbers alphabet and from number alphabets to metric alphabet, then ultimately we will be reaching the Sthapatya Myring rod. It is this format which is being availed here, and that being so, we have to reach at the creative dimensional order of six space. Fourth space in the role of dimension of a six space. But fourth space is playing the role of a boundary of a five space. Hypercube 5 is five space domain enveloped within four space creative boundary. Now, the creative boundary, the boundary of five space is of 10 components. A raised to power 5 is to 10, B raised to power 4. Domain boundary ratio of hypercube 5 is A raised to power 5 is to 10, B raised to power 4. There are as many as 10 creative components. There are 10 four-space bodies which together synthesize the creative boundary of a five-space. These 10 creative boundary components accept an organization 4 plus 6, and so the creative boundary components on the one hand synthesize the dimensional frame 4 cross 4 of the four space, and on the other hand create a dimensional frame 4 cross 6 24 of a 6. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. It is with the comprehension as that the creative boundary of 10 components of transcendental domain with its organization as 10 is equal to 4 plus 6 and 4 creative components as 4 plus 4 going parallel with the dimensional frame of 4 space and 4 plus 6 24 going parallel with the dimensional frame of a 6 space. Therefore, we have to go within TCV values for their 10 internal folds. These 10 internal folds of TCV value are to be visited to have full glimpse and full imbibing of the formulations Om, Iti, Ek, Akshar and Brahm. Here on the computer screen are tabulated first four folds of TCV. This is word, syllables, letters and TCV value. Formulation Om is a single word, so value 1 is single syllable, so value 1, and it is of two letters, so value 2, and its TC value is 16. The first four folds of the TCV value of formulation Om take us to 1, 1, 2, 16, making a total value 20. Likewise, the formulation ET for its first folds is having values 1, 2, 3, 8 as 14. The formulation Ek with cos Shiv is taking us to the values 1, 2, 3, and 12, summation value 18. The formulation Akshay for its four folds takes us to 1, 3, 6, 13, 23. And the formulation Brahm for its four folds as 1, 2, 6, 28 is 37. These quadruple folds of these five formulations of the first quarter of a Surya Upanishad are giving us summation values 20, 14, 18, 23, 37, grants summation values 112. And it would be blissful to take note that the square and the cube lead to this value. Therefore, the first feature of this system comes to be that this system is having simultaneous handling for the domain as well as for the boundary. It will further be blissful to take note that 112 is equal to 56 plus 56. Same is further parallel to 4 times 28. That means it is all the four quarters of the Brahm which are unfolding themselves fully within these four folds of these five components of first quarter of the Surya mantra. Step ahead when we will be visiting fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth folds. That is when we will be visiting TT, the transcendence, FF, the frequencies, F, the formulations, H, the hypercube formats. These four folds, that is fifth to eighth folds of the TC values for these five formulations are being tabulated here. With respect to the Om, these values are 114, 56, 31, 60, making the total value 261. For Iti, these are 0, 68, 44, 26, making the summation value 138. For Ek, these are 63, 72, 33, 42, 200. For Akshar, these are 33, 125, 44, 56. Brahm, these are 78, 140, 72, 100, making a total 390. And total is 1267. This as a domain will take us to 1200. Step ahead, the ninth and tenth folds, these five components of first quarter of a Surya mantra take us to values for Om as 100 and 216, for Iti as 70 and 148, for Ek as 90 and 192, for Akshar as 125 and 263, for Brahm as 200 and 428. And the grand total of all comes to be 1832. This as a domain takes us to 1830 as a dimension. Let us have a pause. It will be blissful to take note that value 1813 is parallel with 1813 days of its Sanvatsar Yuga of 5 years of 360. Therefore, the sadhakas are fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic systems shall be parallel with the Jyotir Vedang, the Lagd Jyotir Vedang, Sanvatsar Yuga as a timeline unit. This way, we can have a full glimpse as to how the 10 folds of TCV values of these five formulations of first quarter of a Surya Upanishad are preserving all these values, and it will further be blissful to take note that all these 50 values spectrum on the one hand is parallel with 50 coordinates fixation of the creative boundary of 10 components of a transcendental domain, and further the value 3211 is also parallel with 3200 plus 11. And 11 goes parallel with 11 versions of a 5 space. This 11 goes parallel with the 5 formulations Om, Iti, Ek, Akshay, Brahm, and 6 as of a Surya for a reach from domain to a dimension. The value 3200 is the value which is 32 multiplied by 100. The value 32 is the value of Anushtup Chand. Each shloka of Gita is composed in Anushtup Chand. And we know the text of Gita has 700 shlokas plus its 59 vachas plus 45 shlokas of the Urma Bhartam enlightenment of the Paranam Shloka will bring us face to face with as to how this value of all 10 folds of all these 5 components of a first quarter of a Surya Upanishad go parallel with total compositions availing aksharas as these come to be. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts to be parallel with the Vedic systems shall learn to follow the organization in terms of the letters of Devanagari alphabet. Devanagari alphabet is a compactified alphabet. Its compactified states at the outermost state are as letters alphabet. Then beneath it is a numbers alphabet. Beneath it is a geometric alphabet. Beneath it is the sthapatya, and beneath it is the transcendental flow along this transcendental format of sthapatya of hypercubes 1 to 6 of values of complete surfacing of 6 space domain. The light Prakash with DC value 13 makes the aksharas, the syllables. Therefore, one shahestra, ek shahestra, archi, Surya Rashmi, sun rays are being taken up for having a chase of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe within and without frames, including the existence phenomenon within human frame. Sadhakas fulfilled with intensity effort to be parallel with Vedic systems shall sit comfortably and be parallel with the way Devanagari alphabet letters carry along with them the transcendental code values of all the 10 folds and preserve the life phenomenon within frames and without frames of our solar universe, including human body. Sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts to be parallel with this enlightenment shall Recite with faith this mantra daily at sunrise and sunset, as well during the midday, and become entitled for the transcendental grace. Thank you very much.